Rare photos that reveal the unseen side of things. We live in a wondrous world filled with marvels all around us. Well, it turns out that there are beautiful secrets hidden underneath and inside things you would never even think to take a closer look at. A tiger's fur is gorgeous on the outside, but have you ever seen the intricate pattern that sits beneath? Or how about the quarry, where they mine the marble for your countertops? The following list is another collection of rare photos that show the unseen side of things that are all around us. If something catches your eye, don't forget to like and comment your favorite. This is what a cleaned heart looks like. A ghost heart is obtained by washing away all donor cells until you're left with a protein scaffold. This ghost heart is ready to be injected with a transplant recipient stem cells, so a new heart, one that won't be rejected, can be grown. 21 microbes left behind from the handprint of an 8-year-old boy after playing outside. But before you freak out and lock yourself inside, remember that most germs won't harm you. Your immune system protects you against infectious agents. And growing up in "natural environments" help kids develop a balanced immune response. This is what a tiger's skin looks like when it's shaved. Each tiger has a unique pattern of stripes which are ideal for the camouflage needs of the animal. Interestingly, the skin of the tiger is also striped beneath the patterned fur. The darkness of the pigmentation of the skin seems to be directly related to the darkness of the fur. Strawberry's surface. This macro photograph shows the individual seeds on the skin of a strawberry. Strawberry seeds are the ovaries of the berry that hold the actual seeds inside. An agate shell. Minerals have grown in the voids of the shell and eventually replaced the shell too. Found mostly on west coast beaches, they are not that rare and usually end up in home collections. But that doesn't diminish their beauty one bit. Here's what an albino raccoon looks like. Raccoons are known for their banded black and white look, which is what makes this albino creature an anomaly. Unlike their friends, albino raccoons lack any sort of camouflage, which makes hiding from predators difficult, and thus their lifespan shorter. Albinism is a congenital disease that causes either partial or complete loss of pigmentation in an animal. Aurora of different planets. Auroras are breathtaking cosmic light displays that can be seen from various planets in our solar system. An aurora is the finale to a process that begins with the sun. The sun emits a constant stream of charged particles or solar wind into the solar system. A light ribbon of color is displayed across the sky in an aurora. This is how Chinese soldiers keep their posture. The officers of the People Paramilitary Police were not playing around when it came to their training for the Beijing Olympics. The force underwent rigorous drills to ensure that they could hold the perfect posture, which included pins in their collars and crosses on their backs. This is what a baby flamingo looks like. These fluffy little creatures are baby flamingos, which may be confusing to some as they are lacking their infamous pink color. Babies of this species are fed a bright red milk made from their parents' upper digestive tracts. As they grow up, they begin to develop their characteristic pink feathers. You can see every organ in the glass frog. Reticulated glass frogs are found in the rainforests of Costa Rica, Panama, Colombia, and Ecuador. The skin on their underside is completely transparent, which allows for you to see their internal organs and even their beating heart. Scientists still don't know the evolutionary reason behind their see-through skin, but think the pattern on their backs are meant to resemble eggs and confuse predators. Globe for blind people. In 1830, an engineer and craftsman by the name of Stephen Preston Ruggles took on a project for the print shop at Perkins School for the Blind in Watertown, Massachusetts. He created a map of Boston with the streets, roads, bridges, and squares marked with wooden divots. Grains of salt under electron microscope. Salt crystals are cubic, but some grains, when observed, appear to be made up of overlapping cubes. This ionic compound is made up of sodium and chloride atoms. When a number of these molecules join to form a crystal, they will often arrange themselves in a cubic pattern. The giant heads of Easter Island do have bodies. The ancient and mysterious Easter Island heads were carved from rock between a point D 1100 and 1500 by ancient Polynesians. The reason people most know them as the giant heads is because they think have heads only, but it is often shocking when it's discovered they have bodies. There are about 150 statues buried up to the shoulders on the slope of a volcano, and these are the most famous, most beautiful, and most photographed of all the Easter Island statues. Large ice crystals. Ice crystal precipitation vary in shapes, intensity, and size, but are found in cold regions around the world. In the absence of supercold liquid water, the growth of ice crystals to precipitation size is most likely dominated by aggregation of smaller ice crystals, which depends on the ice crystal number concentration. An intact human nervous system. In 1925, two medical students in Kirksville, Missouri were challenged to dissect a cadaver's nervous system, starting from the brain downward, but leaving the entire system in one piece. What's under a reporter's back? This journalist has a receiver for the earpiece which allows her to hear the team and a transmitter that is used for her clip-on microphone, both meticulously fastened to her dress in a way viewer wouldn't notice anything. Some 5-pointed starfish can be squared due to birth defects. Did you know that there are about 1,500 species of starfish that we know of? From the tropics to frigid polar waters, they are found from the intertidal zone down to abyssal depths, 6,000 meters, 20,000 feet, below the surface. What thousands of years look like in one photo. Dunbrist Sea Stack, Downpatrick Head, Mayo, Ireland. Living 50 meters off the North Mayo coast at Downpatrick Head sits the 45-meter high flat-topped sea stack Dunbrist, the Broken Fort. Interestingly, this is considered to be a relatively new sea stack as it was only separated of the mainland island in 1393, when monster seas severed it from County Mayo in an overpass storm. The dark side of the moon passing in front of the Earth, captured from 1 million miles away. A NASA camera aboard the Deep Space Climate Observatory has captured a unique view of the moon as it passed between the spacecraft and Earth. A series of test images shows the fully illuminated dark side of the moon that is not visible from Earth. Giant amethyst geode. Geodes are hollow rocks that contain inward-facing crystals that are formed by numerous different processes, namely a slow flow of mineral material into pockets of air within rocks. One of the most renowned regions for amethyst mineralization and geode mining is the Artigas region of Uruguay. Snow-covered net roof of the aviary in the zoo. The first walk-through aviary was built for the St. Louis World's Fair in 1904 by the Smithsonian Institute. Baby driver behind the scenes. While actors are busy performing, the real driver is on top of the car. In Baby Driver, the red Subaru WRX becomes the star of the show as it weaves in and out of lanes, fits through imperceptible gaps between bumper-to-bumper traffic, jumps barriers, and skids around obstacles like a lucky drunk on ice. Processed image of an actual virus via electron microscope. This scary-looking creature from the family of bacteriophages, or phages for short. In 1940 was the first time phages were seen under an electron microscope and scientists realized how they work. This virus infects bacteria and cannot survive or reproduce without it. Once they invade a host cell they can consume the host's nutrients and reproduce. This is what an empty Boeing 787 looks like. The Boeing 787 is known as the Dreamliner and its variants seat 242 to 335 passengers. The 787 was designed to be 20% more fuel efficient than the Boeing 767. What a salt mine looks like from the inside. Before engines and earth-moving equipment were invented, mining salt was one of the most expensive and dangerous things to do. While salt is now plentiful, until the Industrial Revolution it was difficult to come by, and salt mining was often done by slave or prison labor and life expectancy among those sentenced was low. Inside of a spacesuit. A spacesuit weighs approximately 280 pounds on the ground, without the astronaut in it. Putting on a spacesuit takes 45 minutes, including the time it takes to put on the special undergarments that help keep astronauts cool. The reason that spacesuits are white is because white reflects heat in space the same as it does here on Earth. No difference exists in a male's or female's suit, though the female astronaut usually requires a smaller size. Picture of a single atom that won science photo contest. This awe-inspiring photo shows an atom as a speck of light sat between two metal electrodes about 2 mm, 0.078 inches, apart. The photo, titled "A Single Atom in an Iron Trap," was shot by David Nadlinger, a student at the University of Oxford. In the center of the picture, a small bright dot is visible, a single positively charged strontium atom. It is held nearly motionless by electric fields emanating from the metal electrodes surrounding it. Sperm whales do not have teeth in their upper jaw, but sockets that their lower teeth fit into. Sperm whales are the largest among the toothed whales and have heads that are 1/3 the animal's length. These big-headed whales have 20 to 26 pairs of cone-shaped teeth along their lower jaw, but interestingly enough none on the top. While this may seem bizarre for eating, it is strange that sperm whales have teeth at all. Their primary food item is the giant squid, which they don't chew but slap up. What an eclipse looks like from space. This photo shows the shadow of the moon darkening part of the earth. It was taken by crew on the former Mir space station, and it is estimated that the shadow moved across the earth at nearly 2,000 km/h. Only observers near the center of the dark circle see a total solar eclipse. Others see a partial eclipse where only part of the sun appears blocked by the moon. Snipers nest at the Super Bowl. These guys are here to make sure that, if someone does go berserk and undertakes a terrorist attack, they are in a position to stop it as quickly as possible. Sadly, this is just the world we live in.